Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Welcome to the program. Happy Saturday night. Welcome to the Doc Watkins Show. I'm your host, Doc Watkins. I'm joined by Brandon Guerra on the drums and the great Mike Porter on the bass. My special guest this evening is guitarist and JazzTexas bartender Jordan Corney. We'll get to the music in just a minute, but first, let's have a look at the JazzTexas news. All the major TV networks have bowed to a coronavirus-altered reality by launching an early September kickoff of new shows. Despite critics not being able to get a sneak preview of these new shows, there's one thing these shows will all have in common. They'll all suck. In a recent interview, Cate Blanchett says she prefers to be called an actor. However, most people who see Cate's movies prefer to call her overrated. Meanwhile, the Berlin Film Festival has decided to give gender-neutral awards instead of Best Actress and Best Actor awards. And the winner for the most overrated gender-neutral performer in a motion picture goes to Cate Blanchett. Chris D'Elia, an actor and comedian best known for his role on NBC's sitcom Whitney, has been accused by several women of exposing himself. And for those of you who've seen D'Elia's recent Netflix special, he's also been exposed for being unfunny. In the music business, the shocking death of former Rolling Stones lead guitarist Brian Jones, who drowned 51 years ago, is being covered in the Smithsonian Channel's new docuseries, The Curious Life and Death of, which investigates mysterious deaths. Although no one was ever charged with Jones' death, authorities are searching for this suspect. Meanwhile, the Stones announced that a deluxe version of their 1973 album, Goat's Head Soup, has now been released. While the album wasn't a success when it first dropped, guitarist Keith Richards said it marked the beginning of his love affair with Jamaica, where it was recorded. It also marked Keith Richards' love affair in Jamaica with this. That's it for the JazzTexas news. We're about to get to the music, but first I'd like to offer a toast to everyone tuning into the show tonight, especially those of you who have ordered their food and drinks from the JazzTexas Kitchen and Bar. We are now open 5 nights a week, Tuesday through Saturday, so thank you for joining us. Here's to many more years of JazzTexas drinks, food, music, friends, family, and fellowship. Cheers, y'all. And now we'd like to do a tune for you now that was made famous by the great organist Jimmy Smith, called Back to the Chicken Shack, and we want to dedicate this one to our good friend Andy. 1, 2, 1. Brandon Guerra on the drums, Mike Porter on the bass. That's Back at the Chicken Shack. We want to give a big shout out to our production crew. That's Caitlin Hill on the audio production, and on the video production, Mr. Chris Zients. With Wizard Broadcasting. Thank you very much, guys. Also, we want to give a big shout out to KRTU, our media sponsor, KRTU 91.7, providing some of the best jazz on the planet. Make sure and tune into those guys every day and night on your way to work in the morning and on your way home at night and doing whatever you're doing around the house on the weekends. Thank you guys for partnering with us here at Jazz Texas. It's an honor. And finally, we want to remind you guys that we have an online course now available. It's an online jazz course called Conversational Jazz, where the whole point is to teach you to play jazz just like you learned to speak your native language as a little kid, and we hope that you all will check it out. It's available there in the comments section and the link description for the live stream. So we've been working hard on an online jazz course, taking everything online during the year 2020 for you, so make sure and check that out if you would. And we'd like to continue on with the program tonight, featuring a tune that's been around for a long time, one of my favorite tunes. Here is Autumn Leaves. That's Brandon Guerra over there on the drums. Autumn Leaves. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday night. My special guest this evening is JazzTexas bartender. I've known him for a number of years. We go all the way back to the early days of the cocktail renaissance here in San Antonio, and you know him. We're going to introduce him in just a minute. He's also a wonderful jazz guitarist. He's been just shredding during this quarantine time, practicing a bunch, and wonderful musician. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the program, Mr. Jordan Corney. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Doc. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. It's an honor.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man.
So let me start out by asking, how many of your patrons behind the bar know about what you can do on the guitar?
Oh, man, probably very few. My good friends that are also patrons probably know, but yeah, a few others.
So you and I have known each other for many years, and this is the first I've seen you with a guitar here tonight. And
True.
You know, why hide it?
It's I guess like a bedroom guitarist. You know, I think that's a common problem. Here in the States. It's just kind of like it's my relaxing go-to kind of thing. I love sharing it with people, but it can be hard to find a group of people that they want to do the same things you do. So.
Yeah, it's true. So you're into jazz guitar, especially the music of Django Reinhardt and the gypsy jazz of the 1920s and 30s, and you're also into the craft cocktail world, which coincides with the same period of time. Is there a coincidence there? Like,
I didn't plan on that, and it feels like some weird coincidence. I was born in the wrong era. Like maybe I never decided like, oh man, that's my favorite era. I always just loved. It started with passion for cocktails. Started with what's in the bottle, Scotch and bourbon and how it's made, and developed a passion for that. And I didn't hear Django until I was in college, and it was just like I didn't know what era he was from. It just blew my mind, that sound that he was getting.
How did you first come across Django?
I was in college. I was at a party. I brought a guitar to a party. And we were just like, strumming chords and singing songs. And some guy was like, man, have you ever heard of Django Reinhardt? And I was like, nah, like, who's that? And he was like, you have to. And he told me the whole story of Django, which I don't know if you've heard. He's a gypsy, born in a caravan. He was in a caravan fire, and it melted his fingers together, so he could only play with 2 fingers.
I was going to ask you, so how many fingers did he actually have?
So he had all 4, but the 3rd and 4th
all 5
digit.
Or all 4 or all 5?
Well, he had a thumb. 4 fingers.
Okay.
The 3rd and 4th were.
Because I have 5. I don't know if that makes me unusual. I always thought I was normal till now.
Yeah, but it was unusual. He had 2 years of recovery in the hospital from the burns, and he had 3 and 4 kind of melded together. He could do like 6 and 9 chords and that kind of thing, and he soloed with 2 fingers.
Do you think that made him a better guitarist, having 2 fingers melded together?
It didn't hurt him, because he can play.
Did it not hurt him?
He can play better with 2 fingers than almost any other guitarist.
It's like, do you think that might have created the first bar chord? Like the guys put the beer bottle neck on their finger. Is that what he had?
It's interesting because the kind of chords he plays are typical jazz chords, and it just happens to coincide that those 6/9 chords, those 7/9 chords, can be barred with 1 finger or 1 fused digit like that. And I think he just made it work, because he was a genius.
Yeah. So what came first, the cocktails or the guitar?
Ooh, they were about the same time.
Were they?
No, cocktails came later. It was guitar first, and. If Mom's watching, the cocktails came way later.
Hi, Mom.
Not until I was 21 did the cocktails come around.
Yeah. So when you got into the craft cocktail scene, you studied with the late great Sasha Petrosky, who was such a big part of the cocktail renaissance of the 20th century, 21st century. How did you meet Sasha, and how did that influence the way that you think of yourself as a bartender now?
Sasha was basically doing what I dreamt of doing, what I really wanted to do. He was already doing it and had been successful at it. And luckily enough, Bohannon's brought him to San Antonio from New York, his first outing from there. to teach the bartenders there how to do cocktails in the very classic style, pre-prohibition style, stay true to it, and kind of introduce the science of cocktails, where you work on the temperature and water dilution with a graduated cylinder, like a very disciplined school of bartending. And my brothers were working at Bohan's at the time. They're like, "This is what you already do. Like, get up here. What are you doing? Come study with this guy." And so I did that, and he was an incredible human being.
So what's your least favorite part about being a bartender?
People that can't handle their booze. That's the one thing. I've always been like, I'm the kind of person, I drink, I like to have a good time, I like to be respectable, I like respectful of other people. I can't stand people that act like amateurs when they drink. It's just,
So how do you deal with that person until they get out of hand? You just be nice to them, or what?
You gotta kind of feel the situation out, and sometimes you gotta baby them. Sometimes you got to be nice. Sometimes you got to be stern. Sometimes it's a hammer. Sometimes it's a scalpel. You got to feel the situation out. But sometimes you just got to call the big burly door guy and kick him out.
There's a famous Sinatra tune called "One for My Baby and One for the Road," and the premise behind the song is that Sinatra, or whoever's singing, is there at like 3 a.m. It's 2:45 is how the song turns out, and he's the only one left at the bar. There's no one in the place except you and me, and the bartender's name is Joe, and he's basically like telling his sorrows to Joe, and it's an iconic song. I'm sure many of you know it, but I've always kind of felt a little bit bad for Joe that was stuck there at 2:45 having to hear about this guy's relationship problems. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, that song hits real hard. That's, boy, you just can't make them leave sometimes, I don't know what other businesses close and they're like, nah, just, stay until you get it off your chest.
Just stay and get it off your chest and tell me about the worst thing that could possibly happen to you.
Oh, yeah. Been there a lot.
Well, let's get into some music. So, you brought your guitar,
I did.
And we're going to play together for the first time ever. We've known each other for a number of years as, we're in the band and you're behind the bar. And lately, you've been bringing out the guitar and talking about, you're working on some Django Reinhardt. So, for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to invite Jordan Corney up to the stage to play a little blues for you. So, take it away, Jordan.
All right, let's go.
That's Jordan Corney on the guitar. Jordan, question for you. If you could have your own bar and music venue anywhere in the world, what country would you choose?
Ooh, man, I have this. I've never been, and I have this totally like romantic idea of like Cafe Paris that serves cocktails and the gypsy swing, the whole thing. It's a dream. Maybe
Have you ever seen Midnight in Paris, Woody Allen?
No, I saw Sweet and Low Down though, Woody Allen, and that's another take.
Because I was telling Mike earlier when you were warming up that the sound of the music that you were bringing to us was so similar to the music in that movie, and many of you have probably seen that movie, Midnight in Paris. It's great, Owen Wilson, Woody Allen, and the whole vibe is like exactly that. It's this Parisian sound in the 20s.
Yeah, it's like man, what a great time to be alive.
Well,
you know?
so here's the
They
next
didn't have
question.
to wear masks then.
If you, yeah, good point. If you went to Paris though, and you found that it wasn't what you were expecting, and Paris of the 1920s wasn't Paris of the today 20s, what would be the next place
I'd go
you
to
would
Denmark.
choose? Go to Denmark. Why Denmark?
There's another tribe of gypsies that live there. Maybe they're, maybe they've got it.
What makes you want to be a gypsy?
I feel like they get it,
What do they get?
Living in the moment, getting around, not taking, matters too seriously, cherishing family and music and sticking together, and I don't know, something about it that just resonates with me. I don't know why.
When you're bartending on a busy night, like a Saturday night, and it's crazy and there's music going around and everybody's loud and talking and you're having to make, a dozen drinks at the same time, are you able to stay in the moment?
Yeah, it's hard. But sometimes, you just like I'm sure you feel it when you're really digging a piano solo. You just get in the zone, you focus, you tune everything out, and you're just on, and you're just on it. Especially like when there's like great music going on, it kind of helps you get there.
Yeah.
So those are the best nights, really.
Yeah. Staying in the moment is the best thing and the hardest thing.
True. Yeah.
But when it happens, it's magical. Jordan, thank you for coming on the program.
Thanks for
I'm
having
so
me,
glad
guys.
to have you as part of the team behind the bar, and now our newest member of the band. So welcome to the club.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jordan. That's Jordan
big
Corney,
pleasure.
everybody. On the guitar, behind the bar. Thanks, Jordan. All right, so I'm going to give these fellas back here a break for this next tune because I'd like to do a special request that's a long time coming. This next one goes out to Kim Bianco, and this is a little Sondheim, a beautiful tune called Send in the Clowns, which I remember I took my daughter Allison to see this play a few years ago, and it couldn't be more appropriate for a time like this, so I hope you enjoy. And Kim, thank you for the request. Here's Send in the Clowns. That's Send in the Clowns by special request for Kim Bianco. Thank you, Kim, for the request. This next selection comes to us from New Orleans, Louisiana. This is a tune written by the great Ellis Marsalis, who we just lost within the last year, and we hope you enjoy it. It's called Syndrome. It's a nice little swinging tune, and here goes. That's Syndrome by Ellis Marsalis. Brandon Guerra on the drums, Mike Porter on the bass. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, it's that time again to play the board game. We know that many of you have been stuck inside your homes trying to find interesting things to do during the great quarantine of 2020, like playing board games and watching silly videos, probably eating a lot too much, and you've seen more Gordon Ramsay how to cook an omelet videos than you can possibly use to last the rest of your lifetime. I know that I personally got tired of cooking back in the middle of April. And so if you're looking for things to do, we decided to create our own board game that you can play along with right there from the comfort of your own boudoir. So without further ado, let's play the board game. Now, by now you probably know how the board game works. We pick two boring people and or animals. We compare and contrast them both, and then at the end of the game, I get to decide who's the biggest bore. So, tonight on the board game, who's more boring? Scott Baio or a turkey vulture? Well, on the one hand, Scott Baio is a 58-year-old actor. He was born in Brooklyn, the son of immigrants from Sicily. Baio is an Italian word meaning poor man's Ralph Macchio. When President Ronald Reagan died, Scott Baio said, "Today, I feel sadness," which coincidentally is how Americans feel whenever they watch Scott Baio act. Baio spoke at the opening night of the 2016 Republican Convention, which was as impressive a performance as he gave in Joni Loves Chachi. Scott Baio has a brother, Jimmy Baio, also an actor, who has all the charisma and talent of fellow actor brothers Frank Stallone and Stephen Baldwin. Well, on the other hand, a turkey vulture is a scavenger, more commonly known as a buzzard. The turkey vulture has a bald head, unlike Scott Baio, who's got bad implants. People often mistake turkey vultures for certain hawks, but nobody has ever mistaken Scott Baio for Ethan Hawke. Researchers have determined that turkey vultures can travel up to 200 miles in a day. They've also found that if you offer to pay Scott Baio union scale, he will travel as far as you want him to. Well, it's a tough call, ladies and gentlemen, but if you had to pick who bores you the most, Scott Baio or a turkey vulture, the correct answer is Scott Baio. And thank you for playing the board game. All right, and back to the music. We'd like to do a tune for you now that we've not played since before the great quarantine began. This is a tune called Softly as in a Morning Sunrise. That's Mike Porter on the bass, softly as in a morning sunrise. We've got time for just one more tonight. Before we say goodnight, we want to welcome you back on Tuesday night of next week, 8 p.m. Texas time. As always, we're live streaming Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and our kitchen and bar are now open 5 nights a week. That's Tuesdays through Saturdays, every night, so you can order curbside, get some cocktails or a bottle of wine and some dinner, or we'll also bring it right to you. We've got a delivery program as well, and also, many of you have offered to support Jazz Texas during these times, and you've emailed us and messaged us and called us and asked us how you can do that. We've got some links available for Venmo and whatever else they are, PayPal and CashApp, and I don't know, but they're in the little description link on the live stream here, so we're grateful for any support that you can give Jazz Texas during these times. We're going to leave you with one final tune. This is a nice little swinging blues number, and we hope you enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. That's Mike Porter on the bass, Brandon Guerra on the drums, Caitlin Hill on the audio, and on the video production, Mr. Chris Zients. Science! With Wizard Broadcasting. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you back here at 8 o'clock Texas time on Tuesday night. We're live streaming every Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Remember, our kitchen and bar are open Tuesday through Saturday, 5 nights a week now, so come and get you some. We'll see you next time. Thank you and good night.